Back in 2015, the world learned that Josh had accosted 5 young girls, 4 of whom were his sisters. Sadly, at the time, the girls' parents seemed more concerned with exacting revenge on the people who leaked the information than with protecting their daughters. Likely at the behest of their father, Jill, Jessa, Ginger, and Joanna Duggar filed a lawsuit against the police department of Springdale, Arkansas, alleging that the cops had violated their right to privacy by releasing Josh's arrest record. In February, after years of legal wrangling, a judge ruled in favor of the police, and the Duggar sisters' suit was dismissed. Now, in a rather ironic twist, transcripts from the trial have been unsealed, shedding light on the abuse that took place in the Duggars' home while the girls were growing up. The most scandalous revelation comes to us courtesy of Jill Duggar, who revealed that Jim Bob was often verbally abusive toward her. Sadly, I realized he had become pretty controlling, fearful, and reactionary. He was verbally abusive, Jill testified at one point. Our relationship is not good. She added that the situation has not improved, as being in Jim Bob's presence these days isn't good for my mental health, though she noted that she still hopes the relationship can be restored someday. There are just too many triggers and stuff for me to have to process after being around him, Jill continued. It's emotionally taxing, and I don't have the energy right now. She added that both of her parents gave her insufficient time and attention to their kids, which we suppose is a natural consequence of having 19 children. Asked about the Duggar dress code and other draconian rules, Jill confirmed that both of her parents were reasonably strict. It sounds to us like they were unreasonably strict, but we can understand why Jill might not have wanted to roast her parents too hard. The TLC show that made the Duggars famous frequently made light of how strict Jim Bob is with his daughters. His sons got off much easier, of course. Jill did not offer specifics with regard to Jim Bob's verbal abuse, but it was incredibly brave of her to make it a matter of public record. Jill cut ties with her parents back in 2019, and it seems that she's had only limited contact with them in the years since. Around that same time, Jill's husband, Derek Dillard, accused Jim Bob of stealing millions from his own children by pocketing their TLC earnings. Needless to say, the past 3 years have not been great for Jim Bob's public image. In addition to the allegations from Jill, Jim Bob's eldest son, Josh, was convicted of receiving and possessing CP. He is currently locked up in an Arkansas jail where he awaits sentencing. Josh could receive up to 20 years in a federal penitentiary. Looking back, it's hard to believe that the Duggars were once considered the most wholesome family on television. We're sure that future interviews and memoirs will bring even more revelations about the horrors that Jim Bob's daughters endured. And Jill deserves a world of credit for calling attention to the situation, an act that might have saved her youngest sisters from suffering similar mistreatment.